What is up, guys? Welcome back to Call Me Old Fashioned, where we talk everything bourbon, whiskey, and of course, old fashioned. Tonight, we're moving into that late night pour edition of the stream, where we just got done with a live stream. We did a blind of the best barrel proof ryes. Now we're moving to just drinking whatever we want to drink, hanging out with the chat, hanging out with you guys. So let me know down below, what are you sipping on? Welcome to the stream. Happy Friday. Happy to have you. We're almost into Saturday because it is about 11:30 p.m. Eastern time, but some of you guys are on the West Coast. So happy Friday night. Let's kind of move in. I think the first pour of the night is going to be, well, not first pour of the night, don't get me wrong. First pour of this stream is going to be that Still Austin Tanger. Nothing crazy, just a little taste here. There we go. Joker says, "What's up, everyone?" Caterpillar, or Cat A Pillar says, "Joker. Happy Friday. What's up, Caterpillar?" Welcome to stream, everybody. Happy Friday. Drop a like on the stream if you haven't already. It does help the YouTube algorithm. Let us know that we're out here hanging out with the people. But, man, when I tell you this Still Austin Tanger's money, there ain't no denying that. Chris says, "Sipping on some Still Austin, musician." Capus says, "Not much, just watching basketball, drinking whole milk." You drinking Still Austin Tanger? Definitely not milk, but pretty close, right? Close enough, I guess. Same thing. Milky? I'm kidding. This is more super sweet honey. You know what I should have done? I'm thinking out loud now. I should have took the stream down to the fire pit, had a cigar. That would have been a little bit better. It's too late, but maybe tomorrow. But this is more like super red fruit roll-up vibes, honey, a little bit of nuttiness. He said, "Oh, breaking out that Tanger." I love the Tanger. It's one bottle I like to have a pour of, honestly, quite often, but I like to do like these really, really small mini pours. It's almost just to get enough to taste, to appreciate it, but then I like to move past it because I want to keep it for a while. Gemma says, "Oh my God, cool." Hey, it is cool. I can roll the B-roll. It's even cooler then, but it's not of the Still Austin. It's of the Frey Ranch, which we're going to drink on next. North Florida said, "We back. We back." The Still Austin is just one of my favorite pours. I mean, these are big claims, but like of all time, it's just really, oh, Jesus. 10 years old. This isn't the stream for you, my guy. It's not the stream. You might want to head over to a little Minecraft, a little Call of Duty gameplay or something like that. Like an alcohol stream, probably not for you. I'm not sure how it popped up. But the Still Austin's got to be one of my favorite pours of all time. Just in general, it's sweet, it's unique. It's got the red fruit note that I really like. The only thing it's missing is a chocolate note, and it probably would be end all be all for me. But where's Tux? I don't know who Tux is, but we have Caterpillar. Yeah, I mean, it's just overall just great. And now, granted, I'm a sucker for a good bottle. This bottle, in general, is just an incredibly crafted bottle, from the neck of the bottle being like looking like the center of a tree, like wood grain. You got the gold medallion on the front. You got the Still Austin red raven or red, I don't know what, crow, I don't know what it is. It's a red bird for sure. The gold lettering on the back, you can't see that, but I need to create some B-roll for it, and we will. But it's a Texas whiskey. To be honest, off the top of my head, I can't remember how long the age is for, but I believe it's 4+ years. Angel says something, but I imagine he said, "What's up, family?" Capital says hi, EH. My latest identity crisis. Yeah, he's still my fave. Oh, Jesus. But yeah, no, the Still Austin's got everything that I'm kind of hoping for in a bourbon or a whiskey. Sweet, honey, red fruit, roll up vibes, cherry in there. A little bit of nuttiness, almost kind of reminds me of like a little Jim Beam on the nuttiness portion. But I mean, besides that, it's just a money fucking pour. Shelton in the chat with the eyes just, he's like, hey, how you get B-roll in here? RMZ says, get them likes up. Hey, I'm not asking for much. I'm just out here for the people. You know, hey, drop a like if you're just new. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 10K. Artful says, by the way, I found out this week that Still Austin Cask Strength Rye is 2-year age and 10-month minimum Texas heat. It says 2-year age on the bottle, so I just imagine 2 years. The Texas heat, it puts some color into that bottle, regardless. That's where like the Tanger is so unique. Like I imagine this has got to be more than 2 years age. No way they sold this at 2 years. I believe it was 4 to 6 years if I had to guess. It's just got a lot of characteristics to it that it's what I like, you know. So it's a solid bottle. I was pretty pumped because this is the first edition. It's gonna be pretty hard to get soon, and just in general, it's been hard to get, but gonna keep getting harder because people are cracking them open. So the less bottles on the market, but even down to like the cork, right? It's crafted very custom made to them. And obviously, it comes with a fancy box with artwork on the inside, which, you know, I love the artwork for Still Austin, but it's just the packaging, the bottle, the liquid on the inside, it's all great. So, Still Austin, the way I'm going to do best whiskey of the year this year is just the stuff that I've had. I'm not going to go like, oh, it's a 24 or 25 edition. Like, I don't care for that. So, towards New Year's is usually when we do it. We'll do our awards ceremony of what's the best whiskey I had this year. What's the best bottles? You know, we'll do a couple worst whiskeys of the years, best runners up, stuff like that. You know, best mod of the year. We'll do a whole award ceremony on New Year's like we always do. But I mean, I'd be lying if I said this wasn't towards the top. I don't care if it's 24 or if it's 25. Still Austin better send me 25 if they want me to put that in the running, because there's no way I get that, right? You know what I mean? No way. Norfolk says, what's up, Sheldon? How about them Gators? Arthur says, I think they're going to release them now in November. Missouri annual limited release. I mean, Still Austin's great for the releases, but a lot of the stuff is just distillery only. And unless you're in Austin, Texas, you just really can't get your hands on it for a while. So if they release another Tanger in November, you best believe I'll be on top of it this year. I was on top of it last year. I just kept getting screwed. I went to Total Wine twice to pick it up, and both times I was rejected on buying it because of Total Wine. But we're here. We're ready to drink a little bourbon. Yeah, the Tanger. Yeah, no, I figured. I mean, it could be any of their releases, really, but they got a ton of stuff coming out. A lot of distillery-only releases. And as much as I'd love to get my hands on all of them, it's just not physically possible for somebody in Florida. If I lived in Austin, Texas, I'd have them all. I would be the Still Austin guy for sure. They were hiring for something. I almost picked it up just to move out there and work for Still Austin, but I didn't. It was part of their like marketing team. I was like, that's a spot for me for sure. But I didn't do it. That move in Texas is a big jump for me. So, but anyways, what are you guys sipping on? We're obviously going to finish up the pour of the Still Austin. We're going to move over to the Frey Ranch. Love the Frey Ranch stuff. Now, I am a little salty. I am a little salty with the Frey Ranch. Let me tell you why. I have one bottle that is the Farm Strength Uncut. It is 123.88 proof. It's not a store pick or anything like that, but it's good. It's a solid bottle. There's a store near me that got a store pick that is 139.9 proof. You know what I mean? And they're selling it for the same price that I paid for that bottle. I'm just a little salty that I bought it from that store, and a day later after I buy it, they release a single barrel. Like, why didn't you give me a heads up? Why didn't you tell me? I'm not saying like you have to, but like out of respect, I go in there all the time. A little heads up, be like, hey, you could get that, or you can wait till tomorrow and go on even higher proof, a little bit more limited. You know what I mean? To me, I just felt like it was a little like smack in the face. Like, let me get it. You know, not have to spend double. Ryan says, my boy, I've been here like 5 times now. I'm also drinking a rum and coke as usual. Ryan, I know you've been in here. I appreciate it. Says, God damn, that's a strong 62% alcohol. The Frey Ranch, is that? You're pretty spot on. It's 61.94% alcohol by volume. But I like your percentages. You're pretty spot on. So what's the one I'm drinking right now? That one's 106 proof, which is 53% alcohol. I like this one. The Free Ranch is obviously stronger, but Norfolk says, what? I want that farm strength. Shores Liquor, pretty much all of them have it right now. At least some have like a couple of cases. It was a store pick they did. I honestly, I want it, but to me, like, I just went over the Frey Ranch. Like, we haven't even taken the B-roll off the setup yet. You know what I mean? So it's still rolling as we speak. For me to go pick up another one just because it's like an extra, I don't know, almost 17 proof points, like, I just feel like that doesn't make sense. So probably not going to get it unless they give it to me or something, which they won't. Ryan says, I only know because the proof is just double the alcohol percentage. Fuck me, you're right. I didn't know that till just now. That's a good way to think about it. I've always had to do the math on my phone. Yeah, you're spot on. I kind of feel stupid that I didn't know that though. But shout out to Ryan, out here dropping facts on us. The alcohol by volume is just double, or it's half of whatever the proof is. So if you double the alcohol by volume, that's how you get the proof. It doesn't show. Somebody get Ryan his own YouTube channel. You know, somebody get him. North Florida says, I just finished my uncut. I need another. North Florida, you're close enough. I recommend heading to probably Shores Liquor on Wells Road is probably closest to you. They have it. They have the store pick. It's 139.9 proof. It's literally 0.01% away from being a hazardous material where it can't fly. It's just under. Just barely under. So I imagine that thing's got to be magical. You know, I know I'd love to have it, but I can't. There's no way I can buy it. You know what I mean? I have a full bottle here. I'm probably not even going to get through that one. North Florida, LOL, I'm dying here. Hey, breathe, North Florida, breathe. Bro, am I the only one that just figured out the percentage thing? Ryan came here and dropped that, and I'm like, holy shit, no way. Because there's some bottles that don't tell you the proof. It just tells you the alcohol by volume. And I'm always like, Siri, what's this? You know what I mean? Like, Siri, what's the proof on that? So David and Dog says, I still fine with Jack Daniels. Which Jack Daniels? Old number 7? Barrel proof rye, barrel proof bourbon, triple mash. What are we talking about, David? Old number 7's not bad either, especially if you're mixing with Coke. There's nothing wrong with it. I like some things a little bit more fancier, don't get me wrong, but you know what I mean? Like, old number 7's nothing wrong. Oh, you're going to Disney? Okay, Northwood, I see you. We were supposed to go to Disney last week, but we didn't. Ryan says, "May I ask what you do for a living? Because this setup is awesome." Ryan, I have multiple jobs, so I help with tax issues if somebody owes the IRS. That's one source of income. I also had my own business of photo and video where I did weddings for a living. Um, just now ending that. That's not even fully completed, like closed. But I am closing that business. Hence why my setup's really nice for camera wise because I just happen to have fancy cameras. The backdrop's just my office. Um, David said, "Nope, Jack number 7 with the nephews. Nothing wrong with that." Old number 7 has its place in everybody's house, in my opinion. I like some things a little bit fancier. I like it getting a little bit more creative. But old number 7, like, if that's what you like, nothing wrong with that. Like, if I was 21 going to the bars and I said, let me get a Jack and Coke. I want number 7. I want Coke. And then I also want a drink with it. I'm kidding. North Florida says, Daniel only drinks that Jack 12. Jack 12 is nice. I've never had it, but the Jack 10 is incredible. So, I mean, I want the 12. I should have went to that drop, but I knew I wasn't going to get the 12 if I went. Next time. All right, let's put back the Still Awesome Tanger. Put it back in its rightful place. He meant David. I knew what you meant, but I said Daniel because that's what you put. Slide this over here, grab a new Glen. Brian says, what's your all-time favorite liquor? Or multiple, if you have a couple favorites. David says, it's a simple pleasure. Nothing wrong with that, my guy. You know, sometimes, granted, I have first world problems, so don't take it as I'm complaining. I got a lot of whiskey in this room. One of my biggest issues is finding what I want to actually drink sometimes. Because when you have too much, you're almost like, what do I drink? And you get, it's almost like walking into a store going like, what do I put on? It's too much sometimes. Sometimes just keeping it simple. Old number 7, some Coca-Cola, some ice cubes, nothing fancy, just straight out the fridge. I mean, sometimes that's just simpler, easier, more relaxing. I like having things that are a little bit more complex, but you know what I mean? Nothing wrong with that. Ryan, though, all-time favorite. All-time favorite. I don't know. I'll say like my number one go-to for the longest time was gonna be Woodford's Double Oak, and the reason being is it's always available. It's around $50. It has all the taste and notes I want, but the proof is a little lacking for what I want. So Woodford's is going to be up there for availability, for price, and for just a really good bottle. Super approachable, really good for somebody that's new to bourbon, that's just exploring. From there, I'm probably going to break into. I like anything Redwood Empire. The Peerless Double Oak's incredible too. More expensive, hard to get stuff. The Russell's 15, 13th Colony Double Oak, Still Austin Tanger. Those are all like some of my favorite bottles in general. But yeah, I mean, also the Eagle Rare 10-year, right? Just the simple one. If you can find it for MSRP, it's a great pickup. Sweet, approachable, oaky, great pour. It's just good overall. Norvo says, cracking our 10 on the wife's birthday on June 2nd. Hey, we're only a couple days away. Happy early birthday to her, North Florida. Arvel says, don't understand the craziness over the Jack 12 and 14. People are paying crazy prices out there. I only paid MSRP for mine. I'd pay a little bit more for the 12. I'm not paying for what people are paying for the 14. I want it. I'd love to have it. So don't get me wrong. Don't let me, like, if you see me with it one day, don't don't be surprised, but I'm not paying what people are paying right now. Norfolk says I was third in line for that drop. Two guys ahead were over 24 hours. They got the Jack 14. Oof. So you're saying if I was first, I would have got the 14. That hurts my heart because I would have went then. Adam says, are there any higher end maker mark worth trying to find? Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of makers, so I really haven't explored that. It's not that I don't like their profile. It's just not my favorite, so I've never really got past like their French Oak 47. Besides that, I kind of just stay like in other stuff. Not that I won't in the future, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I have no idea. David says, but my only exception is my birthday is when we get Wild Turkey. Wild Turkey 101. You know what, David, this year I think you should splurge a little bit. It's an extra couple dollars, not much, but Wild Turkey Rare Breed Bourbon, 116 proof. It's incredible. It's one of my go-tos around $50, and it is around $50. Wild Turkey 101 is great too, don't get me wrong, but the Rare Breed is just a little bit better. So, but buy what you want, David. You're here. I appreciate it. Ryan said I had an old fashioned with a smoke cup and had some other flavoring things added into it. I'm pretty sure it was orange rind, but it was good. Good as hell, but expensive. A fancy bar. So you had an actual old fashioned, you mean? You had a smoked old fashioned? They are expensive when you go to bars. But when I make my old fashions, I use orange bitters, spiced cherry bitters. I put a cherry in there as well. 2.5 ounces of bourbon, quarter ounce simple syrup or old fashioned cocktail mix, whatever I want to use, and then I smoke it. So I can do all that at home for probably less than you paid at the bar. What would you consider a good beginner rye? The Still Austin Artist. It's a good beginner rye. Bullet 12 year is also a good rye to start off with. Or let's give you one more. Or if you're okay with the money wise, the Redwood Empire Rocket Top or Redwood Empire Devil's Tower. Devil's Tower is a burr rye, but the Rocket Top's my favorite. North Florida says, also, we tried a Weller Antique 107 for the first time. What'd you think, North Florida? David said that might be good. It's not, it's no might. It is good, the Wild Turkey. It's just a couple extra dollars, that's all. Joker says, best mod's going to be me. I'm the pity mod, lol. Hey, you gotta earn it, but you've been in here. I appreciate it, Joker. Flores says Jack Daniels Bonded Rye. I haven't had that, so I can't speak on it. Sebastian says do a line. Bring it over. Don't call me out if you ain't gonna supply it. You know what I mean? What are we waiting on? Guys, if you just tuned in the stream, drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already. We are on the road to 10K. Sebastian out here wants us to do lines. We don't have lines. We have bourbon and Celsius. Not sponsored, but I'll promote. You know what I mean? I'm here for it. No, the Frey Ranch is incredible stuff, though. Ryan says, do I smoke? No, I do not. Not really. I vape. That's about it. And I'm trying to quit, so. Back in the day, for sure. Now, no. I'm old. I have kids. Ramos, or I don't know how to pronounce that, so that's my bad. Estrada says, how many bottles do you say you have? On New Year's, I had about 105. So let's say with some being drank and some stacking up, probably around 150. Every New Year's I do a full bourbon collection. go over what I have, what I liked, what I didn't like, my best bottles, my worst bottles. So definitely stay tuned for the New Year's live stream. It's probably my favorite stream. It's also our first stream. That's our anniversary too. So, well, that's when I drink. In North Florida, you crack me up. So, I mean, yeah, I have quite a bit, unfortunately. Like it's a lot more than I can ever drink because I have 1, 2, and 3 shelves. Plus, I have all this bookshelf thing over here. Plus, I have a bunch on this table over here that just kind of sits there. It's a deadly conversation or combination. Ryan says, "Let's get you messed up." I mean, there's no let's need to get me messed up. I mean, I do have a pretty good tolerance, I'd say. But if you've been around, you know I like to get a little tart. So we'll do shots for every $100 donation. I'm kidding. That'd be nuts. Don't do that. Don't do that. Jesus Christ, that'd be crazy. I couldn't do that even if I wanted to be honest. I like to kind of like drink a little slower, right? Sip on the whiskey, enjoy it. Shots just haven't been in my wheelhouse since 2019. You know, just killed our Emerald Giant rye. Not a bad bottle. We mainly use it for shots and mixing. I like it, but I don't love it. If I drank all mine, I wouldn't buy it again because I would use that money towards something else that's better. It's a good beginner rye, and I like the bottle, but I'd much rather have the Rocket Top or the Devil's Tower, the Jack Daniel's single barrel. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things that I'd rather put the money towards. You know, just tried Old Forester Rye 100 proof. It's kind of too much for the taste right now. For my taste right now, I just cracked open tonight the single barrel, um, barrel strength Old Forester, and I actually really liked it. But it felt more like a burr rye than an actual rye, because it had like chocolate notes and things like that. But I liked it. It won the blind. Yeah, you'll have to go rewatch the live stream we did earlier about the best barrel proof rye. Ryan says, "Party." Joker says, "Which bottle out of all of them, which is collecting the most dust right now?" Ooh. So I do have a bottom shelf down here that I don't even touch. Shady Mile, Early Times, Clyde Made's 5 years, Evan Williams Bottom Bond, Blade and Bow, the Yellowstone, Kirkland's Bottom Bond, Caribou Crossing, Travelers. What is that? My 1792s and Bank Street Bourbon. I don't even touch those. So they're down there until I give them away. If you take those out of the equation, I'd say probably my High West Bourbon, my Pursuit United, and my Knob Creek 9-year are collecting the most dust. Because those aren't bad, but those just kind of sit, and I just don't ever get to them, you know? A lot to do with I crack a lot of new bottles, but also because it's just not my favorite. So like when I'm off stream, I want to drink good stuff too. You know, I don't drink just budget or just anything. So yeah, those collect the most dust. Norfolk says, "Don't forget to like and subscribe." $100 shots. Oh Jesus Christ, Norfolk! I'm not. I was gonna pull your comment over. I was kidding. Have you tried the barrel strength Emerald Giant? We also killed the PID 101. Definitely picking that up again. Pipe Dream 101. Pipe Dream 101 is incredible. I would pick that up again. I did not care for the Emerald Giant enough to get the cast strength. So I have the Lost Mara cast strength, the Pipe Dream cast strength, but I didn't get the Emerald Giant because it just wasn't enough for me to spend $80 on the cast strength. Not that I don't want it in the future, but I also don't like the labels. It doesn't look good in the shelf. I'm picky, you know what I mean? That spot right here that's too dark, that's both the Emerald Giant cast strength, or not the Emerald Giant, the Redwood Empire cast strength. I just feel like it needs to look a little better, you know? Norfolk says my Crown Royal is awful dusty. I have a Crown Royal 18-year too that's pretty dusty down there. Balcones, gross. I almost bought the blue corn this week. I didn't. I put it back, but pretty close. So Thank God I didn't if you're saying it's gross. Um, what else is collecting dust? My Michter's is probably collecting a little dust. My Ben Holiday's pretty clean. Now I will say, because it's the time of year, my what is it called? The holiday toast. What's this fucking called? Oh, Lucky 7 holiday toast single barrels collecting dust. A lot of my double oaks are collecting dust right now because I feel like that's more like fall to winter vibes. This just how I drink it. I drink things in like seasons. So same thing with my Jim Beam Winter Reserve. Like that's not gonna be touched till next year or end of the year. Joker says, would you say the lower end bottles are collecting dust and higher end, now that you got it, are popping? Higher end bottles to enjoy? To make it more legible from what I just said, he's basically asking, is my lower end bottles, my cheap bottles and budget bottles, collecting more dust rather than my high end bottles? I would say it's about 50-50, because as much as I drink my high end bottles, I really only drink sips, like little baby pours out of them, because I want them to last longer. And I'll drink kind of like my mid range bottles, like 50, $60 to $35 bottles is where I kind of live at. That's where I drink the most. My lower end bottles is when like somebody comes over and I'm making cocktails and stuff like that. And those will collect dust up until that time, and then they're gone pretty quick. So I used to have a ton of lower end bottles. I just don't buy them as often because not a lot of people come over anymore. But I still have the Jim Beam 7-year, the Old Granddad 114. That's a good one here. Old Granddad Bonded, regular Four Roses, regular St. Augustine's, stuff like that. That like it collects dust, but also gets ripped out pretty quick once it does. North Florida says, I only had Texas straight bourbon from Balcones. Estrada says, what would you recommend? I'm between Eagle Rare and Weller Special Reserve for my next Eagle Rare. No question. Eagle Rare all day, without a doubt. I love Eagle Rare. I love Eagle Rare's price. Now, let me break it down, because a lot of people always say, well, your Weller's a lot lower. I've gone through the Eagle Rare where I've actually bought multiple. I drink them off stream. I don't wait to pop them on stream. I just drink them when I feel comfortable. My Weller was a gift, and it was a gift. It was the first bottle I got after my son was born. So it became like this special pour bottle to me that anytime my son did something pretty cool or we hit a milestone, that's when I drank this bottle. And I've been saving the last little bit for a special occasion, whether it's something he did or when I meet up with my uncle who gave me the bottle. You know what I mean? Like I've been saving it. Not that it's going to last much longer, but it's Eagle Rare all day, every day. It's the easiest way to put that. Both are great. Like they're nothing wrong with it, but Eagle Rare blows Weller out of the water. And I've done like multiple blinds. I've sent multiple blinds to people that have done it before. Eagle Rare wins every single time, without a question. That's my next pour. I'm gonna drink that now because, why not? It just hits the right spots. You know what I mean? So. Cork Pop was weak as fuck. I'll just give it shit for that, but and my camera's crooked down there. It's like Buffalo Trace approachable, like sweetness level, but a lot more oakiness, like sweet oak. I'm not even gonna really do a review on the Eagle Rare because like there's no question. If you find it, now granted, for the right price, if you go to Georgia, you can find it for $40 or less. If you're paying more than $50, $55, you're paying too much. But if you don't have one, spend your money how you want to spend it. I don't really care. Raging Cajun says, evening, folks. Cheers, Raging. Welcome to stream, baby. Happy Friday. Drop a like on the stream for the boys. But yeah, welcome. You missed a lot. I'm not gonna say you're late, but a tardy slip's on your desk. So let me pull this up. So not that I'm gonna do it this stream. I think we're a little too late into the stream, but maybe next Friday we do something like a call-in show. What's your guys' thoughts on that? Would you call in just for like 2-3 minutes, talk what about your favorite bourbon is or your favorite new bottle, something like that, just for a couple minutes? What's your guys' thoughts on that? Because I've been debating on doing that again for a while. Estrada says 46 here in North Georgia, $46 in North Georgia for Eagle Rare. Yeah, buy it. That's a good buy. Yeah, 46, I'd buy it. I'll buy two. Like I'm not pretentious by any means. Like you can get it cheaper at some places, but because they're about to come out with the Eagle Rare 12 year, I was holding on to this bottle. I only opened it because I said something weird during the hockey game and said if they score, I'm gonna open it, and they scored within 10 seconds. And I go, I gotta open it. So it's a great bottle. I imagine as much as I have on the shelf, this will be the first one that's fully drank out of anything else in here. It doesn't matter what I buy. Um, because it's one of my go-tos. It's cheap enough that I feel comfortable with it, but good enough that I like drinking it. It's low proof, so I like to start the night a lot with it. So it's a good bottle. Joker says Eagle Rare is one I have enjoyed. Coming in as not a big bourbon guy, great to take for an occasion. It is. A lot of people see the Buffalo Trace name or Eagle Rare for that matter, and they kind of go, ooh, now we're getting fancy. Even though it's only a $40 bottle, it's just the facade of it. But it is a great pour, or good enough that they don't realize it's not a $200 bottle for newbies. Aaron says Old Granddad 114 is good, and at $46, I would buy. Hold on, Aaron. $46 for Old Granddad is way too much. Old Granddad 114 is a $20 to $25 bottle. $46, way too much. Not that I don't think it could be worth that much, but $25 total wine, book it. Raiden says, I went back to the Oak Bowery one. You were right about the oak presence. Not overly oaky, but it's definitely there. So a lot of people watch that video. Like 45,000 people watch that video. And they just don't know my palate. Not that I care to have to explain to anybody, but I personally like a lot of oak. I like French oak a lot. I like heavy oak impact. I like the Eagle Rare because of the oakiness. I've said it multiple times. The Oak Bowery one has this like really kind of, when you first open it, has this harsh oak right off the bat. But I like that part of it because I like that oak impact. That's just a me thing though. I try to give you guys reviews based off of what I personally like, not just what off the fucking world thinks. I liked it. I don't care what anybody thinks. But it was harsh. The oak was a little bit like kind of drying, kind of a little burn to it. But it kind of made it like a little bit more unique because every time I drink oak impact bourbons and they're really smooth, I'm like, cool, oak, whatever. The harshness part kind of appealed to me because of that. So I don't know. It's kind of a weird dynamic there. North Florida says, I enjoy the call-ins. Me too. It's just sometimes people don't call in. That's why I was just kind of throwing it out there. Like, who would want to call in? Who would want to do that? Because maybe we do that next Friday. Do like a quick little call-in show of, somebody picks their bourbon. Maybe I pull it over and drink it. We talk. Nothing crazy, though. Like, we're talking like 5-minute max per person or 3-minute max per person just to kind of be able to turn and burn through people. Aaron says, no, the Eagle Rare, LOL. Oh, oh, you're right. Yeah, $46. I'd buy multiple Eagle Rares. I don't buy anything more than 2 at a time, regardless. But 2 Eagle Rares under $100, all day. That's me, all day. What's your thoughts on Texas whiskey? Estrada says, I love Texas whiskey, but I really only love Still Austin. I'm not categorizing myself as like a fanboy yet for them, but there's not been a single bottle I've tried from them that I'm like, ew, don't like that. I like them all. The bourbon, cask strength bourbon, is one of my favorites. Cask strength rye is really good too. We've been drinking that almost all night. The artist rye and the musician bourbon, they're good. They're approachable. They're cheap. I'll drink them all day, but like that's not what I'm going for. I want something a little bit more to it. I have the red corn, which is great. I've been looking for the blue corn, and of course I have the Tanger, which is just incredible. So great stuff. Now beyond Still Awesome, though, I can't really say too much. Estrada just subscribed. Estrada, appreciates it. Welcome to the family. We go live every Friday, typically around 9 to 10 p.m., just depending on what time of the year it is. So I tried Garrison Brothers. I didn't like it too much, but I only had their small batch. It's just a lot of mesquite for me. I tried one other one, and I didn't care for it. It was just like a quick pour from somebody. And so Still Awesome's really the only way I've been exploring it, but they by far have been the best one. Don't know why, but I can't recommend them enough. Raiden says, anyone seeing or hearing anything on the Eagle Rare 12 year is supposed to be out this year? Yeah. November, holiday season. Anything Buffalo Trace that's new that you hear throughout any part of the year, it's always going to be around Thanksgiving to Christmas time. That's when they do their giant allocated drops. That's when the Pappy releases. It's when the BTAC lineup releases. That's when you have the best odds. So if anybody was ever saving up money to buy anything Buffalo Trace, you want to save till October, November, December. That's your time to try and get one. Not that you will get one, but that's your time to try. So if Eagle Rare 12 really is going to release this year, it's going to be in November. So North Florida says, just read Balcones bourbon was discontinued. The value just went up. You just said it was gross, so I'm okay with not buying it, though. So let it discontinue. How does that look? Is that better? Little weird little light coming in. Aaron said, calling would be fun, but you would end up with my 3-year-old daughter talking to you. I mean, hey, not the worst time in the world there. Yeah, so we've done call-in shows before. Sometimes they've gotten out of hand. But call-in shows are typically meant for somebody to call in and whatever the topic we choose is, right? Maybe we do like a random wheel or something like that, and we just kind of have fun with it. But they can come in, let me know what their favorite whiskey is, what their new whiskey is, and then I can kind of talk about whatever they're drinking, right? And we can just, they don't have to stay on long. A lot of people don't like to turn their cameras on, so I'm not expecting anything like that. If they do, more the merrier, but it'll just allows us to kind of chat as a community. You guys know I'm pretty big on talking with you guys, hence why we do these late night pours as well. I like to do the other versions as well. I like to be a little bit more professional, right? Like everybody else wants me to be. Do reviews and blinds and stuff like that. But I like to hang out with you guys, chat it up, let me know where your guys' heads are at in the bourbon community, and just really just like to have a little drinky time, you know. So another 45 minutes live. So just housekeeping items. We did hit over 3,000 subscribers recently. So that's a milestone check. We went from 2,500 to 3,100 pretty quick. So I appreciate everybody that is new to the stream, new to the channel. Welcome. Feel free to chat. We're here to hang out, have a good time. Obviously, love the support from everybody, of course. But we're here to get a little buzz on. Estrada says, I almost got a bottle of that Oak and Eden weeded Spire today. For $56, I could not pull the trigger on it. You know, Estrada, I was in the same boat. It looks enticing, but I don't really hear great things about it. Those Oak Spirals can be good or bad, so maybe I'll get one day. But $56 for it to have a spiral in there means it's not really aged much. It's just, to me, knowing as much as I do about whiskey, it just is like all the red flags to stay away from. I'm not saying it's not good, but it has not been enticing enough for me to buy it yet. So, North Florida says, best live stream production on the tube. I love you, North Florida. Appreciate it as always. Joker says, I have called multiple times. It's a great time. No need to be shy. Joker, you have. Joker says that, though, because every time he calls in, he takes me for a ride and tries to get me to bet him bottles. So, Raiden says, what's everybody sipping on? I got 13th Colony Cask Strength pick right now. Ooh. I almost picked that up the other day. I keep missing it, and I know I'm going to miss out on it, and I'm going to regret it. Maybe I go up tomorrow and pick it up. Raging, just because you got it, you have no bias in it. What's your thoughts? If you could give it a rating, 1 out of 10, where are you going to place it? Give me a range. Give me something. I like 13th Colony. 13th Colony, though, is like an acquired taste, in my opinion, because it's a lot of oak, a lot of leather, a lot of tobacco, a lot of manly vibes to it. There's no sweetness to it. There's sweetness, don't get me wrong. There's a sweetness level, but most of the time it's like heavy leather impact to it. Like the double oak and the regular Southern Straight bourbon whiskey. So the Cask Strength, I imagine, is just a more stronger version of the Southern Straight, but you never know. So, give me a rating, Raging, 1 through 10. Norfolk says I tried it last year and this year. 13 Cask money bottles makes me see why people seek out the double oak. I knew you were gonna like it, North Florida. That's why I didn't ask, because I know that you're like feeling those bottles. They're great, and they have every reason to be. You know, the double oak's incredible. Super unique, super oaky, right? For the double oak, it's got a lot of impact from that. But they just got like this little vibe to it that's like their own lane. One thing that I like the most about bourbon and whiskey right now is it used to be Kentucky ruled everything, right? I made a video a long time ago that said Kentucky bourbon's dead. I'm not arguing that fact anymore, right? Because my favorite distilleries, Redwood Empire, Still Austin, New Rift, St. Augustine, Frey Ranch, 13th Colony, none of those are in Kentucky. New Rift is half in Kentucky, but none of the rest of them are, and it just goes to show like how much good stuff can be produced in the United States overall. In any state can have its own uniqueness to it. So I like 13th Colony just because like it's not the normal, you know. Aaron said Elijah Craig small batch and 13th is my next purchase. Elijah Craig small batch. Let me show you something real quick. Let me show you something. I would buy 13th Colony next, Aaron, just because easier pickup. It doesn't play into what we're talking. I like Elijah Craig small batch, and if you wait till the holiday season, you can get Fucking Christ. Oh, my camera's going to mess with me today. Okay, whatever. You can't see it close up. During the holiday season, Elijah Craig releases like a gift set. It comes with one of these. You can either get the black walnut, which is for their bourbon, or their spiced old fashions for their rye. And it's basically old fashioned cocktail mix. And it comes with like a little jigger, so that way you can kind of pour it out properly. But these are some of my favorite syrups for old fashions, like pre-mix stuff, you know. The black walnut's incredible. The Elijah Craig small batch really pairs well with it. Really well made stuff, and it's the same price as a normal bottle during the holiday season. So, I mean, I can't recommend that stuff enough. That's one of my favorite gifts to give during the holiday season when it comes to bourbon, just because it's a really good set. So, Norflore says, is up there with the JD12 in your opinion? Damn, Norflore, way to put a stamp on it. Estrada says, I'm sipping on some Cooper's Craft right now, fixing to go get me some Green River Wheated. I do need the Green River Wheated. I hear they're going to be some cask strength or foolproof wheated coming out. I have the foolproof. That's like Thin Mints to me. Thin Mint Girl Scout cookies. So if the wheated's anything close to the foolproof, I'm all about it. Mouse in the chat says, we have several Eagle Rare store picks that are so nice. I'd love to get a little store pick. They don't do that a lot around here, so. Norfolk says, Georgia is killing it with the bourbon game. Short barrel, 13th Colony are killing it. Short barrel's more of a little bit source, but being aged in Georgia, they do have a little magic going on in that distillery, so I'm with you. Raja says, this is Sean's pick from Echoes in Eternity, 5 year, 3 months at 117.4 proof. Buttery popcorn does not drink at 117. Easy, 7.5 to 7.75 out of 10. What a proper fucking rating. Bro, I just said, like, give me 1 through 10. Buddy comes in and just fucking slings out a proper review in, like, a mini section. Ragin, I appreciate your thoughts. But a 7, almost an 8. I mean, there's not a lot of 7 and 8s getting sent out like that. So the buttery popcorn is one note that I've never got, but I hear a lot of people getting it. So I'm curious of what my thoughts would be on that when everybody says buttery popcorn, because I'm like, I like popcorn. I like butter. No Flores says, cheers, everyone. I have to drop out. Long day ahead. Gonna need that beauty sleep anyways. Have a great time. North Florida, have fun at Disney. Have a good time. Make sure you drink around the world for everybody. But other than that, bud, you have a good rest of your night, and we'll see you next week. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's about that time for me, too. We're going to go ahead and close her down. If you're in the Discord, feel free to pop over, send some messages. I'm not going to do a party chat by any means, but feel free to shoot me a message if you're in there. But if not, we do go live every Friday, anywhere between 9 p.m. Eastern Time and 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to nail down the time soon. It used to be 9 p.m., then we kept moving it, blah, blah, blah. Excuses. But if you haven't already, ladies and gentlemen, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Of course, as always, I'll see you on the other side. Peace.